The Clam Trap Attack Tournament is this weekend, Saturday, January 21st and 22nd. This is an online tournament on the Fish Donkey app. $10 entry fee, and you can win thousands of dollars in clam prizes. If you'd like to take second in the crappie division, make sure you register today, and we will see you on the water this weekend. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Crappie Chronicles. Today is a special day. It's the start of a new trip. And if you are new to this channel or this series, or even if you've been here a while, there are a lot of you that have been here for a while, please subscribe, turn on the notifications. We got some fun videos coming for you. As you can tell, it is snowing a lot. We have a huge winter storm that's just hit. Last time we just missed it when we were leaving northern Minnesota, and now we're driving right through it. So Griff and I got the machines hooked up, and we're heading to probably one of the most beautiful places in the world to chase some of the biggest crappies in the world. We're going to the UP, and we got a bit of a drive ahead. So stay with us. We're gonna have some fun. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, merch drop number 2 just went live, so go check that before all the hats are gone. For our second stop, we take our first journey out of the state of Minnesota. A brief trip north of the bridge to Michigan's Upper Peninsula, located in the snow-filled abyss above the Straits of Mackinac, an area of the country where snowmobiles outnumber the population of cities and snowplows are the lifeblood of the community. Our team's goal is to expose the untold tale of the fish that roam the slush-filled water pockets of this region, an area that's remote, challenging, and most of all, unforgiving. And if the stories of this place are true, the crappie fishing here could be prolific. Welcome to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, kind of a really unique place in the world, to be honest. It's very remote.
This part of Michigan in particular, I mean, we're in the Upper Peninsula here. There is not a lot going on as far as, people. Everyone up here is just doing outdoor stuff and hanging out. A lot of the towns up here are very small.
The area up here, it's a snowmobiler's paradise. You're surrounded by Great Lakes, and like literally Great Lakes. You know, the lake effect snow up here is incredible.
And when you get to these towns and everything, there's basically no people, and the only people you do see are riding snowmobiles. There's just like colonies of snowmobiles going around.
It feels like there is, 4 to 5 foot of snow anywhere you look. And it's just a really, really cool area. There's hundreds of miles, probably thousands of miles of snowmobile trails.
Seems untouched. I mean, we've talked about this before, going to places that are just kind of under the radar, but this place, it's not really under the radar, but it's just a place that not a lot of people go. I mean, it's just far enough out there from a lot of other places that it's just isolated, really.
To come here and then just be out, to be in the middle of nowhere, is going to be pretty cool. You never know that Sasquatch's not looking over your shoulder. Like, apparently that's a big thing here. I was pretty excited to see that, which I was like, You know, I hope I see a Sasquatch. I know we won't, but hey, you never know.
I just think the UP is really special, and it almost feels like this little hidden gem that everybody's like, when you bring up the UP, everyone's like, oh, that place is so cool. But not a lot of people go here or travel here or have experienced it.
Hopefully you catch crappies. That's all I care about, really. Sasquatch, crappies.
It's a really, really cool area, and it's a place that I've always wanted to go to, and I'm happy we finally found a reason to come here.
Good morning, everybody. It is good to be in the UP. It is the morning right now. I was up till like 4:30 in the morning editing the last episode you would have saw, so hopefully you enjoyed that one. Now we're in a new location. We have a new merch drop that's out, including this sweatshirt and the hat Griff's wearing. So we'll go check that out quick. Griff, new hat. Big fan, correct?
Yeah, love it.
There we go. So new hat. And yeah. This is our first day in the UP. We got a long drive this morning, so we're gonna go pack up and get after it. Go try to chase down some of these giant crappies up here. I don't think any of us have ever fished up here before, so today should be really fun.
All you gotta do is buy 7 to get a free one.
Seems worth it. I mean, it's a steal, honestly.
You trying to get like 8 sandwiches or what?
No, just one.
Well, how you gonna get your free one, dude?
All right, we are out in the UP now. So today we are starting on a new lake. So obviously, no matter where we go, these are gonna be new, but here is a big reservoir. So what's cool about the UP is there's a bunch of different streams, bunch of different reservoirs, and like we've said with rivers, there's always big crappies in rivers. So we've stumbled out to a reservoir, and we're gonna start looking around in a basin area for some of these crappies, see how they're dwelling and what's going on. We got some pretty dirty water, so we'll see what we're able to do, but should be a good time.
Yep. Nice little crappie. That right there is a fun little start to the UP trip. Beautiful little guy. That one came on a white drop XL with a white plastic. Beautiful little gold guy. Water super stained, and gosh, they even have some mud on them. That's a nice little start. Hopefully they get quite a bit bigger than this. We'll have to see. But that one came on Griff's rod. With how dirty the water is, we wanted to go with, you know, a bug style presentation. So I opted for the schoolie rod. It's a little breezy out here right now, and with using these smaller jigs, because it didn't seem like they were super aggressive, you get a lot more control with this rod. So I'm gonna get back down there and see. There was another one with him. We saw him on the live, came over here with the Vex, dropped down, and that one came in right away. So let's see if his buddy wants to play. Not marking yet, but hopefully he comes on in here. But yeah, right now we're just on an inside turn of a point. It's adjacent to a little bit deeper basin back out here, and we found some fish holding up on this inside turn, so we're gonna see if we can't get a couple larger ones. Right there, 20 feet. Or do you want to go after bigger?
Yeah, those other ones are over here. Turn to the left. Those other two were swimming that direction when they came on this. It's a turn. If they're swimming straight away from you, you can't see them, like literally. Like I was watching them over there and they kept swimming at me and they would just disappear. Right there.
Right there, 40.
Here, drill one at 20 and then drill one at 40. Meat! Gold that thing is. Sick. My first UP crappie. It's a good one. Heck yeah. Look at that. Beautiful fish. That thing came in and destroyed that thing.
I don't know. It doesn't feel tiny. Oh, it's a giant. Oh! Just kidding. That was sick. I thought that was gonna be way smaller than that. All right, so Griff just caught one too. We just started going literally across this basin here. We came up over a little point, and the map for this lake isn't that great, so we just wanted to start exploring kind of like big open areas. God, these are beasts, dude. Really goldfish here too, which is awesome. Super stained water. God, that's a pretty one. That's probably 14 and a half at least.
For sure.
Slab City. But that one was on the schoolie. It didn't fight super hard initially, but as soon as they got to the hole, it did not want to come up. We got a decent amount of ice here, but dope fish.
Waldo's hooked up right now too.
Oh, wow. Bomb, baby. That was a surprise right there. Look at that. That is a beautiful crappie. Look how gold that thing is. Gosh, these things are just tanks. They're built like just bricks. That one came on that white Drop XL. That would be the 4 mil size. With a white plastic on Griff's rod. We're just going more finesse today. And getting close to the hole, and it seems like it is working pretty well with these smaller jigs. Griff's rod handles that great, but look at that thing. That thing is just an absolute pie plate. That's what we absolutely love to see. Look at how thick that thing is. Just built like a unit. Nice. Give me some.
All right, gorgeous, gorgeous fish. We're gonna get these things back. Woo! Absolute moose. Let's get these things back.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was really sick. We did a very bad job right there. We've just been kind of walking around. We left the machines like 200 yards away, and we're just drilling around. We caught one kind of dink, little not even quite eater one. We came over a point. We drilled like 4 holes. We put the live down. We saw a couple fish that didn't even look that big, but they were suspended, so we tried dropping on them. And every single one was super aggressive. They all ate, and they were all big. And we were not ready for that to happen.
No,
so
not at all.
We had like probably 2 that were in that 12 and a half to 13 range. One that was definitely 15, but we didn't have like we didn't even have a bump order or anything. We're like so far from our gear. So we kind of blew that whole operation, but we caught all the fish, which was super sick.
Yep.
And now we're going to just keep working across this basin because we kind of blew it up. We were running around doing stuff. So
Yep.
we're going to try to move maybe, what do you think, 100 feet, 200 feet?
Basin troll, just cover some water and see if we can't find a more concentrated pot or just a couple more fish to whack. But sharpshooting them has been pretty much the deal.
Yeah, and we were initially seeing some fish on the bottom, but now we're thinking that those might have all been bluegill. So every single one that we've caught that was definitely a crappie was like 4 or 5 feet up off the bottom, just floating around.
Yeah.
They're not really schooled up though, it doesn't seem
No.
like. They're just like little 2-pack here, 1 there kind of thing, but
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, we're just gonna keep covering water and seeing if we can't land on a couple more. We've got plenty of daylight left, so with how dirty this water is, the bite should just get better and better.
I hope so. Yeah, and with this live, it's kind of tough. You can't always tell how big they are, kind of like every day you kind of got to relearn like what a big one looks like on the lake you're on.
Yeah.
Just with the water clarity and stuff. But
Plus, if they're facing right at you, it's really hard to see. That's where the Vex will tell us the truths and how big they actually are. So
to be honest, I was shocked that that fish was that big when it came
I was
out.
same with mine. I was very surprised. The mark looked good.
Well, right, but it wasn't fighting
it
that
didn't
hard.
fight at all.
But when I saw the mouth come up, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was not small.
Yeah. Well, that was sweet. So now we're going to try to do it again and find some more. Let's go.
So one really big difference to this area is kind of the forage base for these big crappies.
Where we come from in the Twin Cities, a lot of these fish we target chase bait, whether that's bluegills, crappies, shiners, other minnows, or when you get to the river, you even got shad. You got a lot of bait chasers.
Coming over here, it is a little bit of a learning curve because these fish are like 99% like they're eating mayfly larvae. That is their #1 forage item.
I think our bugs in Minnesota like elevate in the water column a lot more than they do here. I think these are more like mud-based bugs like wigglers and bloodworms and stuff that actually don't really rise up in the water column, because like the guys I've talked to here say that the bottoms of these lakes are just crawling with wigglers.
A lot of soft bottom, lots of invertebrates in that water column that these fish really do not have to work hard for. You know, it's just fish that don't really group up because they're not hunting down actively, chasing around bait fish. They can eat whenever they want. They're super lazy fish, to be fully honest.
You're just gonna find fish that are gonna be in groups on the bottom, and they're gonna be chasing, well, not really chasing, they're just going to be hunting down these wigglers.
We say they kind of bowling ball across the bottom. They're very hard to see, and when they decide they want to sink down into the silt, they're virtually impossible to see. So you tend to lean on more of like a Vexlar and finding an area with an active bottom, and that's what those bugs look like.
Even finding them is one thing, but once you do find them, getting a bait in front of them and getting them to eat is a totally different thing, because we're gonna have to work these fish a little bit different.
It's always fun switching things up and going more towards that very finesse jig and plastics where profile and cadence can mean everything.
Okay, so it's probably about an hour after we caught those fish, and we've kind of just been bouncing around the area. We brought the machines over and that spooked them a little bit, but we've been running into them again, and what we're finding is we thought they weren't too picky on color, and it turns out they're extremely picky on color.
Yeah.
Because we've had a couple come in and look, so we've been using various different colors, but we need to make some sort of presentation change, whether that's maybe going to a more aggressive bait like a pinhead, or something really bright like a fire tiger color. We need to make some changes, but we're breaking down new water, and what we've found is they're hanging around the largest structure in here, which is this point right by a basin, and we're gonna keep looking. The crappies are, like you can see on our Vexes, we're fishing anywhere from 25 to 30 feet. Well, that's what the auto range says, but the bottom's so muddy, it's like probably 27. But these fish are suspended up like 8 feet. I mean, you just had one come up and bite that was probably 12 feet up. So
he was huge.
They're just patrolling around, and they really don't like the colors we have down right now. So I don't know if they're going to bite better a little later, if we need a new color, but
I just
we're going to make
switched
some
up
changes.
to a pink and black just to see if that works, because I had on a white with a clear glow, and that was not the deal. Or it could also be they just have a hard time seeing it, so you need to go huge.
He's about 10 feet away. Yeah, he's coming here. There's two of them. Marking?
No, not yet.
I mean, they were coming this way, but it was slowly. Oh, there he is. Oh boy, yep. That's one of our friends. Come on, eat. We'll find out. Oh yeah.
Last one.
Nice eater, actually.
Actually, that
Perfect.
is just what we want.
Yeah, we need some fish to eat, but
He came unglued on that, though.
yeah, so that was good. Good change. We were just talking about a bait change. We went to pink. He came flying up and cracked what for Waldo.
Yep, I got a 1/16 ounce drop kick on right now on the pink with the black eye, and
There's
then
another one down there.
I have a cut down Mackie Jamie XL, and that one has I just cut down like the first 2 notches on it just to make it a little bit shorter.
We had me and Waldo were just bouncing around looking for fish because we kind of spooked some, and we drilled this hole for the live, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, there's like a few of them swimming over here. And that's happened like 12 times today, and none of them have eaten, and he dropped down on that one, and it just corked it.
Yeah, first time dropping down this color. Big. Maybe. Never mind. Maybe.
Oh,
Nice one. Booyah. Sweet. That one came up and just destroyed the drop kick. That one's got the Jamie XL on it. Great big fish bait with this stained water. That bulkier profile really helps push water and allow the fish to see it, but that's actually right about perfect eater size. That one's probably 11 3/4, 12. I'm gonna get back down there. And I don't see any, so we're gonna look around with the live again and see if we can't find a couple more and then smack them with the Vex.
They just showed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2 of them, like 2 feet up. Got him. There's another one down there. Oh, he's growing. Nice one. Another solid eater. Sick. There was a couple more down there. Ow. Got him. Sick one right there, probably about 10.5, close to 11 right there. That one was on a drop kick with a chartreuse Jamie on it. Kind of went to a brighter color. I know Waldron just caught one on a pink one before, so I took off the white one that I had on, put on a chartreuse and black. Got 8 literally first time down when they came in. So I'm gonna get back down there, get the juicer back in. I did see at least one other one. All right, I'm dropping down. I was using the schoolie on that one. This rod's super sweet because I can just do like micro movements with the rod tip. I have so much control with it. I was using the Waldo's rod before, kind of that power noodle style, but it's so hard to keep control of that rod tip, especially with a little bit smaller bait like that. It just vibrates a little too much. Oh my God, they're sitting down there just waiting. Let's see if I can get down there again. But that time I was just bouncing it just a little bit and just raised him up maybe about a foot, and he finally committed on it. Because they're not totally smoking it, at least the ones that I've caught so far. I kind of had to coax him into biting a little bit. Let's see, this one's up a little bit higher, so let's see if he'll do it.
I mean, it could just be like the day
Man.
and you were like,
There. Let's see here.
I know.
Nice crappie.
Started shaking his head like that. I'm like, that ain't a bluegill.
Another nice one right there. We are going to harvest this one. So there's a perfect golden eater right there. That's going to be a nice nugget later. Still using that pink drop kick with that Jamie XL on the back. It seems to be working really good. Yeah, we're just bouncing around this pretty much this inside turn of this basin, just sharpshooting them. It's been pretty tough though. They've gotten a little finicky on us, but we're gonna keep moving around, and I think we're gonna loop back to where we started just to see if more fish pushed in there after we gave it a little bit of a break. And we might even push further in on that spot too. So we're gonna keep moving and grooving and see if we can't get on some bigger ones. Moving.
Yay! I got a fish. That's a nice one. Look at how gold they are. The boys have been steady catching all day. I am honestly just exhausted from staying up till 4 editing. But I need to get back down because there's a bunch of them. And yeah, we're just hopping around this inside turn like Waldo said, and they've been pretty hard to get to stay in an area, and then when we do find them, they're pretty particular. So having GRIFF's rod's been really nice, honestly, because they've been big fans of micro movements.
Oh yeah.
He's there.
Yeah. Got him.
I cannot believe he just sat there.
He literally just sat there and did not
and then you
move.
dropped on him and he was like, yeah, okay. What the heck?
Not that big. Decent one though. There's a nice one. Another pretty gold one. Gosh, these are gonna be awesome. Does anyone know what Pink's making? I don't think anyone knows. He hasn't told us yet. So
it's a Michigan special. Though.
It is.
He's making something local. That's
ooh,
what he said.
So that's gonna be really good. I am pretty jacked about this one. That's gonna harvest. Let's go, boys. I'm still using that pink drop kick, and it seems to be working pretty good. That one actually sat still for us. Yeah, so these fish have been pretty negative, and I'm not pounding it very hard at all. I'm literally pretty much just swimming it above them, and then they're just slowly rising up, and that's why this rod is so awesome, because it loads up so nice, so we're able to see just a think, and Griff's got the other one.
I'm marking one too. I don't even know what's in here. We're not from here.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I have your line.
Okay. It might be a pike. This might be a really big walleye.
No, whatever it is, it feels big. It swam over to my hole too, so.
Ooh. That scared me. Ooh. Ooh, what is that? Oh my gosh! Guess what it is? Guess what it is?
God damn it.
Is it a tulipy?
No.
Oh.
What did Griff catch a lot of last year? That's really big.
I'm trying to think. Is it a white bass?
No.
A sucker!
Oh my god.
That is a huge sucker.
I don't think I can cook that. Hey, there's my jig!
Holy crap.
Look at that sucker!
It's a giant sucker. Oh my gosh.
That is so bizarre.
That's a really big sucker.
That thing's enormous. Oh my god.
5 pounder.
Really?
5.18.
That's a huge sucker.
Yeah, boy. 5.18.
Well, here, see, does it have an option for...
I guess I can catch these in more than one state.
Holy crap. That is a giant sucker.
Oh, still got some fight to you, eh?
Gone.
Jesus.
That
was a fun
thing
fight,
was
though.
a unit.
Especially on a schoolie.
All right, so we just got off the lake. The bite really kind of died off, and we've never really been on that lake before, so it was kind of tough to figure it out. We got into some fish, which was super cool, but it kind of shut down, and we decided to bail because we had a long drive back. But we came back to the cabin. We're staying at this really, really sick cabin here. We're staying at the Root Cellar on Lake Gogebic right now. Apparently this place is like a freaking snowmobile mecca because there are hundreds of snowmobiles here. There's like trailers everywhere. Luckily it sets up really good for us because there's tons of places like park all our gear and stuff. But our cabin is literally like right on the snowmobile trail. So there's just like sleds ripping by. The lake is right outside our window. This place is really, really sweet. So we got this awesome setup to cook here. We're really excited about that. And we're in Michigan. We're in the UP. So it seemed only fitting we do something from Michigan. So today we're doing pasties, and we're doing them a little bit different than normal. It's normally kind of a dense little hand pie situation with some ground meat and root vegetables. So we're using the crappie fillets that we caught today, fresh meat in the sink right now. And I'm gonna prep some vegetables. We're gonna use a puff pastry shell, kind of keep it a little bit lighter. We got some potatoes, some carrots, and some leeks that we're gonna put in there, a little broccolini on the side, and it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna start making this right now. We'll get it together really quick, get it in the oven, and we're gonna eat really quick. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is start to kind of julienne all of these vegetables. That's really not that complicated. All we're gonna do is cut them down to really thin little strips. I'm gonna start with the potatoes and then do the carrots and the leeks. And all we're gonna do after that is saute them in a pan with a little butter and garlic and add a little bit of cream to that to just thicken it up and make a nice little filling for our pies. And then I'm gonna chunk up the fish fillets. We're gonna get them seasoned up and get everything put together. So I'm gonna get to cutting on these veg right now, and we'll get everything put together. Okay, so I got all the veg prepped up here. We got the potatoes, we got some carrots and some leeks chopped up here. And like I said, I want to do really small strips because I want them to cook really quickly and evenly. So what I'm gonna do is take all of this and go into a pan behind me. We're gonna just saute everything to kind of wilt it down a little bit, get it nice and soft. And I'm gonna put a little bit of cream in there to make it kind of a sauce. I don't want to be too wet though, because we are gonna put this inside of a puff pastry shell with the fish. So I'm gonna get that rolling. We're gonna go over to the stove, get this sauteed up. Okay, so the vegetables are cooking down nicely. I got some heavy whipping cream right here. What I'm gonna do is add about a half a cup into here, and then I'm gonna season it with a little salt and pepper. But also what I'm gonna do is add some catch and cook into here. So if you're new to the channel, we love these catch and cook seasonings. There's a couple of them right here. So I got the whiteout and the campfire. One is a garlic seasoning, the other one is a smoked salt. I love that smoked salt one especially. The garlic seasoning is really great too. So I'm gonna use both of these, about a teaspoon of each one into this, get it all mixed in. If you'd like to try this stuff out, this is great, great stuff. They also make fish breading as well. We have a discount code, Crappie10 is the discount. So if you wanna try this out, use it on their website, you can get a sweet discount. But I'm gonna get some of this in here. This is just about ready to go. And then I'm gonna let this pan cool down just a little bit. Once it's cool, I'm gonna prep the fish, cook that, or we're not gonna cook the fish till it's in the puff pastry, but I'm gonna get this ready to go and put it all together. Okay, so now I'm gonna prep the fish. I got the veg ready to rip. I got a bowl of fillets sitting here, so what I'm gonna do is pull a few fillets out. These are nice fillets. We had some really nice eaters today. I'm gonna probably use about, I don't know, 3/4 of a pound here, maybe about a pound, so it'll be probably anywhere from 6 to 8 fillets. And what I'm gonna do is just chunk them up, so I'm gonna grab a knife right now and just start breaking these fillets down into basically bite-sized chunks. Get a little catch and cook seasoning on them, and we're good to go. All right, so the key to a pasty is a nice flaky crust basically on the pocket itself. So what I'm using today is puff pastry, which I don't think is necessarily traditional for making these, but with fish, because it's just a much lighter meat, we're trying to keep the flavors really light and just nice in this one. I got some puff pastry that I'm gonna roll out here. I got a little bit of flour, so what I'm gonna do is, I don't really have to roll it, it's actually nice and thin already, but I'm gonna take it off of this baking paper that it's on, just flour the counter just a little bit, get it down there, and I'm gonna split each one into thirds, and then I'll fill them up, and we'll get them crimped up. I got a little egg wash here to kind of seal things up, but first thing I'm gonna do is get the flour on the counter, and then get a puff pastry sheet laid out. Okay, so I got the puff pastry laid out here. I basically just cut the sheet into thirds. I'm probably gonna end up making 2 sheets worth of this, but each one's gonna be a third of a sheet of puff pastry. And what I'm gonna start with is just a good spoonful of our vegetable mixture. And you don't wanna overfill these too crazy bad because we do wanna crimp the edges. And we want it to be full of fish too. So probably do about that much. What I'd say is probably a little over a 1/4 cup of vegetables. And then what I'm gonna do is do about the same amount of fish in there. And this is already seasoned, but it's not cooked yet. So what's gonna happen is this is gonna be a pocket. The steam inside will cook the fish and then everything will be done. So what I'm gonna do now is take this end and fold it over the top. And then starting on the corner, I have a bowl here with a little bit of egg wash in it. So it's just 1 beaten egg and a little bit of cream. And what I'm gonna do is just use my finger and brush it on the seam there, around the whole thing. And what that's gonna do is allow the puff pastry to stick together. And once it cooks, it'll form a nice little seal in there. And I'm gonna start on one corner and just fold it up and over. And this will create a nice little seam that will seal everything inside. So a traditional pasty, like I said, is not made with puff pastry. It'd be more of a pie crust type dough. So this one is gonna rise a little bit more and become a little bit more flaky. And I will, on the top, just using my knife, just poke 1 little vent hole in the top, just to let out some of that steam and moisture as it cooks. So I'm gonna get all these made up and then get them onto a lined baking sheet and get them in the oven. Okay, so I got 6 of them made up here, ready to go. I got those little slits in the top just to kind of vent the steam a little bit. So I'm gonna get them nice and nestled into this pan here. I got the, just a little baking, like parchment kind of paper underneath of it there, so just to keep it from sticking down. Get these on here, and then I'm gonna use the rest of that egg wash to just brush on the top. And what that's gonna do is brown them up really, really nice. So they're gonna look great when they come off, get a nice little crust on them. And once the egg wash is on, I'll probably just sprinkle them with just a little bit of kosher salt. So just nice and lightly, you don't have to go crazy here. But that little bit of egg and cream will just brown up like crazy on there. I got the oven behind me preheating to about 425, so they'll go in there for about 15 or so minutes. Pretty much you're just waiting for the puff pastry to start looking really nice and golden brown, and it'll rise up quite a bit. The steam will cook the fish very quickly, so you don't have to worry about that. Everything should be wrapped up in about 15 minutes in the oven. Woo! It's hot. Okay, 15 minutes. Okay, so I got a few bunches of broccolini here. I'm just gonna cut them a little bit just to take some of the stem off. And then I'm gonna throw them in a saute pan with a little bit of oil and just a little bit of minced garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper, and that'll be done. That only takes a couple minutes. So get these ready to go about the same time the pasties are done in the oven. The broccolini will be done, we'll plate everything up. Okay, so that didn't take very long and we still got about 10 minutes left on the pasties in the oven. So what I'm gonna do is just whip up a little bit of a cream sauce here. So I have a red onion, I'm gonna mince it up super fine. I have some more of that heavy cream, and then I have some butter. So what I'm gonna do is take about 4 tablespoons of butter and just cut them into 1 tablespoon chunks. I'm gonna saute a little bit of this red onion, super finely minced like I said, get it in this pan, add the cream, and then 1 tablespoon at a time I'm gonna mix in the butter. And I'm gonna use a little bit of the Catch and Cook whiteout seasoning in there as well. And that's gonna create this really, really rich butter cream sauce that's got some onion and a little bit of garlic seasoning in it. It's gonna be delicious, and that's what's gonna go on the pasty. So I'm gonna get that together, mince this onion up, and we'll be ready to go. All right, these are looking super good. Nice and golden brown on the top. Heck yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna get these plated up. We're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna let them cool just a little bit. But while we're waiting, I wanna talk about one thing really quick. So we're on a new trip. We're in the UP right now, which means there's another merch drop that's going live right now. So we got some new stuff coming out. We got some really, really cool designs, and we got some new hats. So if you wanna get a new hat that's, well, this isn't the one. Keep bargaining your hat. Okay. We got new hats. We got these awesome patches with the new logo on them. If you want to get one of these, they're on the website right now, along with a bunch of other stuff. We got some really cool topographic map shirts that look unbelievable. So check those out. we're gonna get to eating here. And go get yourself a little bit of merch. This one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plate up with just some of this cream sauce down first, right on the plate. And I'm gonna actually just kind of set the pasty right on top of it. So it'll kind of start soaking into the bottom. And this will be a delicious way to eat this thing. Just like that. We'll take one of these pasties and set it right on top of there. And then we'll just take a little bit of this broccolini on the side and just make a really nice plate here. So after a long day on the ice, that is a freaking bomb way to end it right there. Fresh crappies in a pasty, a little cream sauce, and some fresh broccolini. So we're gonna tear these apart. I'll cut one open so you can see what it looks like on the inside. And I know that they're gonna be freaking good. So let's go. All right, so we're all plated up here. I'm just gonna cut one of these open. So all those vegetables will have cooked down and gotten really nice and soft. Like I said, we kind of sauteed them just a little bit, and that fish steamed in the pocket there. So that's what they look like on the inside. Fish is beautifully cooked. We got a nice little layer of that kind of creamy vegetable mixture right underneath of it. And the puff pastry is looking really, really nice, golden brown and crispy. So Bart, I'm gonna have you try this one. You have not gotten first dibs on one of these in a very long time. You probably need a fork, eh?
Yeah, a fork, maybe.
Fork it up.
Fork. All right, I am pumped right now. Oh my God, dude, this is gonna burn my face up.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hot.
Yeah. We'll get
First
some of
shot
that
of the
sauce.
pasty
Oh,
here.
boy. Extremely hot. Very, very, very good. Very good. Very hot.
Very hot.
Very hot.
So
Definitely cooked through in the middle. But delicious. So what we're gonna do now is we need to crush these and get ready to go fish tomorrow. I'm dead. You can probably see right now, like the whole editing for like 5 days in a row has caught up with me. I need to get to bed, but the great thing about tomorrow is we're fishing right out the front door.